Hey you guys, so in this video I'm going to be taking you guys on a little walk and tapping, scratching and tracing on a number of things, just kind of showing you what kind of a typical neighborhood would look like in New Cairo. So there are many parts of Cairo, and this is called New Cairo. And so each different part, or maybe you could call it suburb of Cairo, are all different. But I would say that this gives you a good look into a normal family's place of living in New Cairo. So this is like a little kind of grassy area, not quite a park in the sense that it has like kids stuff and benches and all this stuff. It's a park in the sense that it's just like a large open grassy area. Sometimes there's flowers and just like an open space that people can enjoy. And I think this is a fairly new development, maybe in the past 10-20 years, to have this in the middle of these communities of homes. They've got little signs throughout, and so yeah, like a lot of the communities here would have I want to call it a gated community in a sense, because you go through like a security spot when you go through into the community, but they're really large, like full neighborhoods that you go into, and the security is not like intense by any measure. You just like drive in and look at the guy and give him a wave, but yeah, there's like, you'll see in a minute that there are like kind of signs to kind of show where the different homes by numbers are in each community. There's a lot of construction going on at all times. It's a really growing neighborhood and city, and so you'll see, cement blocks and different things like that along the road. Lots of buildings that are kind of like halfway built, and a lot that are fully built as well, but it's definitely developing and growing. This is one of the signs that gives you all the numbers of the different units, like homes. Here's an example of one of the a home apartment being built. Usually it's more like, I'll call them apartments, not really like a house that like one family lives in. They're usually like large buildings that a lot of families live in, and the units inside are comparable to apartments. Maybe you might call it like a flat, sort of like in Europe where you would have a flat. So just showing you a bit like how these apartments, I'm just going to stick with apartments for now, how they look. They're quite nice. They build them to look very like fancy. This was like this little mushroom that someone had in front of their place, a little kitty cat. So cute. But there's cats and dogs all over the place. And they are without like homes. They're just like wild dogs and cats, and that's really common all throughout Egypt and a lot of the world. I stopped here to trace the little villa sign. So yeah, they've got nice little plants that they're placing in front of the apartments. some nice designs that are being put out in front of the kind of lobbies of these apartments to make the entrances really nice. I thought this blowing in the wind was really lovely. And this is, I would say, quite rare, but there are kind of some spaces in these little parks where they place some flowers and rocks, and it's really, really lovely to see. I saw this sweet little boy walking around and watering all of the plants. I don't know if it was like his duty in that neighborhood or what, but he was walking around doing that. I saw this bird, and I don't know how well you can see, but it has the longest beak and like this really interesting pokey thing on his head. I'd never seen a bird like that, so I just wanted to show you. He had like black and white on his wings when he flew. It was pretty cool. This is like kind of like a palm tree, essentially. Lots of trees that kind of look like this, like a big palm tree. I love hearing the birds chirping everywhere. This walk was so nice. This is actually footage that I took from 2 nights back to back. And it was so, so lovely walking about. I loved it. I love these giant leaves. This is actually from the back of the Airbnb that I am staying in, which, like the other places, is more like a big apartment, or even kind of, in this case, like hotel sort of, where the rooms are all rented by different people. This was a little bench back there, and I had some really cute little pathways. I'll probably try to show you this back area another time. It was a bit loud at this time though, so I couldn't show too much. But they had these pretty ferns. Just a nice little place to sit. There's actually a rooftop area to sit as well. So this was the night before, and it was a bit darker. It was actually towards the end of my little walk that I started to film a bit. So you can kind of see that the lighting is a bit darker. And this is just some of the leaves and bushes and such along one of these apartments. More of the kind of like palm trees, probably a different name for the palm fronds. There's like, usually in the evening, children come out and like run around a bit on the grass area I was showing you before. Not too many, just like 3 or 4 on each like community's grass area. And a few people are sitting about talking and such. But it was quiet actually. For the most part, like in comparison to the daytime. This is just more of sort of the structures, the architecture, the cement that's kind of designed for the outside of these apartments. Here they are, all very tall, with quite a few units in them. In fact, if I understand correctly, in most parts of Cairo, I would say the apartments actually go higher than these. So these are a bit shorter. In the newer communities, they're a bit shorter. Like there's maybe less units inside. The apartments in some of the other suburbs, I want to say, of Cairo are quite tall. And have many, many stories that they go up. Ah, look, there's a bit of wind. I will say it's sort of funny, but most of the plants just have a thin film of like, I don't know that it's dust. I think it's from all the construction that goes on. just the cement that's like cement and pieces of different materials that are sown throughout the day. And so there's kind of a layer of like, we are in construction life on all the plants and trees. You can just see a bit of a film of that. So you can see in the floor there just a bit too some dirt or cement, so it kind of blows around. This is another one of the park signs, and it's nice. You can get a bit of a map, if you will. That's like what the little parks look like without those giant trees that they're showing. So we've got some Arabic down here. I was just tracing a bit of it for you. Arabic is written from right to left. Nice little kind of areas. They've placed some trees and plants in along the sidewalk area. Few light fixtures, and like the addresses essentially are on those little blue signs on each of the apartments. So if anyone is from Egypt watching this, would you call these apartments? Or what's the term that you would use for each of these? I know that they're called apartments in other parts of Egypt, but they're like really tall, like I was saying, so I'm curious. I'm calling these the same, but maybe they are referred to differently. So let me know. I would appreciate it. There's this amazing architecture. It's a mosque down the street. At some point I want to go and like show you it somehow, but the architecture is just unbelievable. I love Middle Eastern and Indian architecture so much. So look, this is just on the street, just bags of cement, because every single day workers show up and they just work on the apartments that are still being built up. Little cat. Okay, so we are reaching the end of the video. So in that case, if you've gotten to the end, let's put our like secret emoji in the comment section to know you got here. Let's go with a lipstick emoji this time. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you found this interesting and relaxing. Hope you have a great rest of your day or night. Bye for now.